Hi guys, and welcome to Content Localiser. Really excited to be bringing this to you. It's a very simple tool, but really powerful too. So essentially, let's take you through first what it is, and then what it does, and then how to use it. So what it is, it's simply a content scraper that goes out and it finds content for you, specifically geographic content. Okay, so you're going to pull content that is specific to your location that you're trying to rank for. Now, this is one of the ingredients that is typically missing from people's pages. They might just put in the title, the place. So it could be, for example, we've got a suburb here called Mindari. You might put in pest control Mindari, or plumbing Mindari, or whatever. Boiler repair Mindari. And then you might mention that suburb 2 or 3 times and add the postal code somewhere on the page. But that just really isn't enough. You need to make it a little bit more contextual, have a little bit of information about the actual location, so that Google gets a real understanding of what it pertains to. Okay, Google likes you now to cover topics. They don't want you to just mention keywords. This is not the way that it's working now to get optimal results. So you're going to want to have a little bit more substantial content on your page. Now, that can be a pain to go out and get, if you want to go out and actually find that yourself manually. The obvious place to go is Wikipedia. Okay, and this is where we scrape our content from. But let's have a look at if we were doing that manually. So I'm going to use the example of Liverpool in the UK, because that's where my partner Lloyd is located. So let's use his hometown. Okay, so here's Liverpool, the city. Now, the first thing you're going to notice when you look at content on Wikipedia, it's really rich content. It's good content. But one of the problems is you get like these citation tags, I guess you'd call them. And of course, you've got all these hyperlinks. I mean, Wikipedia is famous for lateral linking. This is why it's so powerful. But who the heck wants all these links? So you've got to go to some kind of software tool, either online or one that you have in your desktop, to remove all those, to stop that text being, these anchor text being links. Okay, you just want to convert them into text, and then you're going to want to get rid of all these things. So it's a pain in the butt to do it, to be honest with you. It's a lot of work. So this is why we've created Content Localiser. Now, like all of our tools that both Lloyd and myself build, we build them first and foremost because we want to use them ourselves. So these are built with our own use in mind, and then of course some of those tools we roll out to the public, and this is one such tool. Okay, so let's take you through how you would actually use it. Okay, so it's really simple. We've kept it as simple as possible to use. So the first thing is you can click on the city, and then we are going to enter Liverpool here, and we're going to add. Okay, so there we have it. Our city's in there. Next thing we want to do is add some proxy details. So I'm just going to pause for a second while I add my proxy details to this. Okay, so proxy details added. We just then save, and all the proxy details are in the software. Right, all we have to do then is select the proxy we want to use, select the cities we want to scrape. In this case, we've only got one. I wouldn't try and scrape too many at a time. This is when you can run into it takes a long time, and there's more chance of the software failing the more that you're trying to scrape at one time. So keep it to just a few at a time. Okay, so we've added our city, we've added our proxy. So the next thing is this little tab down here. Now in here we can put the name of the business. Okay, and this is just going to contextualize that business within the information that we're pulling for the geo content. And down here is just the download path. So this is the output file that we want it to actually go to. Okay, so you could just create a folder on your desktop that you want the output to go to, and then you just find it in the browser. Easy peasy. Right, click submit. I'm going to pause again. This usually takes about a minute, and I'll come back to you as soon as it's done. Okay, now when it's finished the scrape, it's going to give you a message that it's finished, and then you go to your output file, and this is the one that we're interested in here. and we'll take a look at this, and you can see that what's happened is it's scraped data right here for Liverpool, some geographic data from Wikipedia. So all that we've scraped in here, okay, all this does is to scrape the basic geographical information and whatever's contained in the first few paragraphs. We don't want to go into like the history, etc., because that will just be putting too much geo content on, and we risk then getting to the point where we're telling Google that this page is about the place more than it is about the service, which we don't want to be doing. So we just want to get enough there. The other thing that it pulls is the postal codes where they're available. Okay, so that's the caveat. These aren't always going to be made available by Google for every location, but where they are available, where they are available from Google, the content scraper will actually pull that information in, and then you get a list of all of the postal codes or zip codes for that particular city. And as you can see, there's quite a number of them there for Liverpool, but they're useful to have on your within your content as well, to give added relevance for the locations that you service. So that's it. Basically, it's as simple as that. Okay, really easy to use. One word of caution: where we do have issues with this particular scraper, it tends to be when the proxies that have been used are of poor quality. Okay, so it's a garbage in, garbage out kind of situation. If you're going to use junk proxies, your performance on this is going to be compromised. I would advise using decent quality proxies. I use buy accounts for the most part. They seem to work extremely well. You want dedicated IPs from a company like buy accounts, and then you're not going to have any problems with your scraping of your data. And do remember as well, once you've scraped this content, once you've got this file for this particular city, you've got it. Okay, you don't have to scrape that one again. And so you can just do this as and when you need them, and then you store the files, and then anytime you're building a page that's intended for that particular location, you've got the information there at your fingertips to be able to insert into your content. Okay, so that's it. So sales page is, well, there's a link to the sales page underneath. We've kept this at a very competitive price, guys. Very sensible price, so that anyone can afford to get it. It really is a nice little tool to make things much easier for yourselves with using geographic content.